I've been doing these social experiments, if you will, on Facebook. And I've been doing these in all of these different groups that I belong to. And so the first thing I did was I started to get my name, like, you know how you get those higher badges in, when you post things on different groups or you post things on Facebook, and you get these higher badges and higher badges. So I started posting these things, and it was kind of like a poll, like, how do you like your bacon cooked? Do you like your crispy bacon, or do you like, bacon that's barely cooked or whatever? And I would get like 1,000 responses. I don't care about how many likes. I care about how many responses. So then it was, there was another one with, do you rearrange your eggs in the egg carton? Do you balance your eggs in the egg carton? Because I got this OCD thing going on. And then the last one is, are you a dishwasher rearranger? And I'm telling you, I would get like thousands of comments on these things, ridiculous numbers of comments. And what I wanted was the interaction, not so much just the likes. I don't care about likes. I want the interaction. So this way, when people see my name pop up on a post, they're like, oh yeah, I know you. You don't know me, but you kind of know me because you've seen my stuff, and I respond to every single comment. It's painful, but I do. I respond to every single comment, whether there's 800, 1,000, doesn't matter. I respond to every single comment. So what I've been doing lately is I've been looking for posts where people post looking for, oh, we're thinking about buying a vacation home, or we're thinking about moving. Now, you know that you can go into Facebook and on these groups, and you can search for words, like you can search for moving, or you can search for home, or you can search for vacation, or you can search for whatever. And what I find is that when these people make these posts, and these posts are like, hey, I'm looking for we're thinking about moving to, or we're thinking about retiring in this place. I pop on that post and I'm like, hey, you know what? If you decide where you want to live exactly, then let me know and I will help you. I will do all of the work and do all of the research, and I'll find you an agent there that'll actually work with you and communicate the way you communicate. And you're like, wow, that's awesome. I was like, yeah, and best part, costs you nothing. I do all of this work. So what's better? You doing a guessing game of what agent's going to be great in that area, or playing, let's ask Facebook, or have an actual realtor make personal contact with somebody, ask them the questions that you don't know how to ask. You don't know all of these hard questions that you need to ask them. Do a little research on them, find out, what their time on the market is, if it's a listing that you want to post, or find out, how many buyer sides they've done, or you find out all of these things that you need to know in order to have the right agent. And then when I do find the right agent, I send them an email. I let them know what I'd like to do, and I request a appointment with them, a phone conversation with them, essentially to give them an interview and ask them the rest of the questions that I already know the answers to. So you do your research first, and you find out all this information. I stalk people. I stalk their profile. I stalk their Facebook. I stalk any social media that I can find them on. Then I look them up and I see what Realtor.com says about them. I see what all of the, what other agents say about them. I stalk their client testimonials. I stalk everything, so that when I get it down to one or two agents that I want to actually have this interview with, I already know so much about them that they're not going to be able to tell me something that's not true without me knowing that's not true. So you get on these Facebook pages, and I know that everybody belongs to like at least, I don't know, 11 million Facebook pages. I know I probably belong to like 8 or 10 different Facebook pages. And so you get on these Facebook pages and just do all of the searching, do searching through all of the posts, put in those keywords, and find in those keywords what you're looking for. Hey, Regina.
Question.
Yes.
So, being a new agent, all these other agents are trying to connect to me now. do you connect to other agents or do you discourage that? I
No,
mean,
no,
like Keller Williams.
I connect to other agents too, because here's the thing. It's just like, okay, now we know each other, right?
Yeah.
So if you get a client that says, hey, I'm looking for a commercial building, what's the first thing you're gonna say? Oh, I know Gene. Gene's a commercial agent. So
Mhm.
the more people you know, the more opportunities it is for you to get referrals. Now, not just going after them like that on the Facebook pages, but actually getting them from other agents. So I am on the I'm on the KW Rainbow Network too. And so I hosted a happy hour last week. I hosted this happy hour and I was like, I had about 8 people show up to it. And it was not a big group, but it was a big enough group that we all kind of got to know each other. And then we all friended each other on Facebook. And then actually, I've got somebody who might have a referral for me. So you get to know these other agents. Yes, if they're friend requesting you, let them get to know you. Doesn't matter. I probably have like 500 people on my Facebook friends list that I don't even know. It's like they're asking. Now, do watch out for those weirdos from different countries that are friending you looking for a wife. Don't do
Different
that.
continents, yeah, different continents.
Huh?
Different continents, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The last 3 weeks, I mean, my Facebook page has blown up with requests from people, and like I've noticed I'm looking at them like, who are you? I'm sorting them through because I don't accept just everybody. But I've been debating over the agents. I'm like, do I not? Like, but what, after I heard you talk about referrals, I was like, well, I would want to be connected then, right?
Why not? So here's the thing. I used to do that too. And I'm like, why do I want to be friends with you? You're from a different agency. What are you going to do? It doesn't matter. I mean, because we're all connected somehow. And
We are.
you need to understand is that I know that you're brand new. The biggest thing you have to realize is that there is more than enough to go around. It's just how you go about going out to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can teach you how to do referrals exactly like I do referrals. I can write you a script. I can do it all for you.
But I won't be you.
What?
I said, but I won't be you.
You won't. You won't. You're always going to be you. So no matter what, there's going to be a client that's going to want you as their agent more than that next person. And it's going to be that special, whatever it is that you bring to the table. So that's going to be your biggest key to referrals. Also, hit your sphere. Hit your sphere because we work and live in the biggest military town in the world. Okay. Everybody is either moving in or moving out. And so when you go ahead and hit your sphere of influence and you tell them, hey guys, it does not matter whether you want to live here or somewhere else, I can still help you. And then you go to telling them about how you can find them an agent wherever it is that they need to move to. Or where did you come from originally? Did you live here your whole life?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you.
New York. I don't know how many people are on here. I was just stuck in traffic. I was driving to Yorktown.
Okay. What part of New
Playing
York?
catch up.
Regina, what part of New York are you from?
Queens,
Queens.
the city. I'm part of the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, I know. I'm from Long Island. So
okay. Yeah, I was born in Suffolk, Long Island, but my teens through 30, I grew up in Queens.
Okay, so my grandmother lived in Ozone Park. For my
that was my first apartment was in there.
Okay, so now you're from New York. Do you know that in 2000 and what was it? What year was that? 2018. 2018, I did almost $2 million in New York in referrals.
Wow. Just in referrals?
Yes.
Holy moly.
I mean, volume. Okay. I'm talking about volume. And
I know, but still, wow. That's amazing.
So
You're amazing.
No, I just go after it. So you've got a ton of friends on your friends list that still live in New York, right?
Yeah, I got about 1,500. I would say half of them. Yeah.
Okay, so now how many of your friends or family members in New York either want to buy or sell a house?
It's a good point. There's no reason why I can't target them.
Look at that. Boom. Yes.
Mhm.
And if you help them find an agent up there, you help them find, and I can hook you up with a bunch of good agents. But if you help them find an agent up there and you do all the work for them and you just go ahead and collect the referral, 25%. Let's not 25%, but yeah, you're getting 25% of 3% on a house in, like, you know, Queens or Long Island. That's gonna be like, I don't know, $600,000 at least. Doesn't
Yeah.
suck. It doesn't suck. And this is almost like a passive income because you're doing several hours of work, not even like, you know, chasing stuff down. You're doing several hours of work just to make sure that this relationship that you're putting together, and it is, you're making sure that these two people are going to get along. They're going to communicate the way that you know, your client communicates, that this agent is going to be the right fit for them all the way around. You're just making sure of that. It's almost like matchmaking for real estate.
I'm good at matchmaking people for connections.
So
I
there
need to do
you go.
this. I need to do this.
And you're a New Yorker, so you're innately nosy. I mean, you're a New Yorker, you can't help yourself. So you can definitely stalk and track down somebody's stats before you talk to them.
Yeah.
And if you need help with it, you can always call me, or you can ask me, or you can ask me for the form letter that I send out to people once I found somebody who's potentially somebody who I want to interview. And I will absolutely help you with all of that. But yeah, you need to start rocking that community you have up in New York, because everybody up there probably wants, you know, wants to buy or sell a house at one point in their life. You've got what, 1,500 people on your friends list, 750 of which are probably up there in New York. Look at that whole 750. Come on.
Yeah, I just found out driving here. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. So I'm on the phone with my dad. He calls me and I'm driving here to try to get here before the training starts. And I'm stuck in traffic. And he was like, oh yeah, Denise is just approved for 150,000 for a house, which I'm like figuring like, how did that happen? And I'm like, wait, who did she get approved from? And why don't I know this? Like, hello?
Talk to them about your business.
Yeah, and he's like, no, they know. And he's like, well, I don't know. Who knows? She just searches stuff online and stuff. And I'm like, because she has no brains, but I'm not going to say that to her. But, and I'm like, did you tell her to call me? He's like, well, you know, she just searches stuff online. I'm like, Dad, give me her new number because she changes it all the time. I'm like, tell her, just give me her number and I'll call her myself.
Exactly.
I was like, really? I'm like, my own father. Like,
yes, but see, this is what I'm telling you. They're not going to do the work for you. You've got to get out there and do it. Okay? You've got to put it out there. Look, I've got family members and friends and all sorts of people up there who call me all the time. Hey, do you know an agent where, you know, on this part of Long Island or what? I've got actually a high school friend who's a realtor in Queens. So, and actually he's a very good friend of mine. So if you find somebody who actually wants to buy or sell around Queens, Manhattan, anywhere like that, I got a guy.
I'm bribing people to tell them I'm an agent now with chocolate.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Just giving them any excuse to talk to them, like the people that I normally deal with. Hey, look, here is some chocolate. Happy Easter. Let me give you my new card.
All right, you know what's a really good thing to start a conversation with somebody about what you do for a living?
What's that?
Ask them how's work.
What'd you say?
What?
Start a conversation, does not matter. Just start a conversation. I got a client standing in the line at Starbucks one day. Just start a conversation.
Just start any conversation.
I got a client while I was signing up for a gym membership. Start a conversation. I got a client when I was returning something to the jewelry desk at Macy's. Start a conversation. Look, there is nothing in the world that you can start talking about that is not going to come back around to what I do for a living. Nothing.
Yeah, I know. Just wrap it around.
We will start that conversation. And it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you can work that into any conversation at all. I don't care what you're talking about. You know, you want to talk about dogs, great. I have 2 dogs. I've got 2 dogs. And so when I bought my house down in Norfolk, I had to have a house with a yard. Look, I just said I bought my house in Norfolk and I had to have a house with a yard, right? You can work it into any conversation. So just make sure that when you're talking to people, doesn't matter who, you just have that conversation. As soon as you start talking about yourself, you give them a business card. And don't get shitty business cards.
Yeah.
You make sure
What's a
that
shitty busy cars?
what's a shitty business card? It's just put them out on their own home computers or some stuff like that.
Mine, yeah.
I get ridiculously expensive business cards. You know why?
It's worth it. Yeah.
You want to know why?
First impressions are everything. Is that what?
That's part of it. But the other part of it is that if you get a shitty business card, nobody's going to think twice about tossing it out.
I made it a magnet.
Oh, that's nice. I like magnets.
That's true. That's true.
But if you have a really nice business card, they're going to really think 2 and 3 times before they toss that out, because they're going to be like, wow, this is a really nice business card. I think I'm going to save this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it. It's human nature. All right.
I
so-
have a whole drawer full of cards.
huh?
I have a whole drawer full of business cards that I need to pull out and make them reconnect with all those people now and tell them about real estate.
You know, go onto Amazon, and if you look business card holder up, you're going to find that they have these little books that you can put them in. And then you have
I
all-
can't just put them somewhere. I need to like scan them into Command and start working them.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little beyond me. But what I do, scan them into Command, really?
Well, I know you can scan apps. You can scan, they have an app, which I need to look this up because I used to do it for somebody else. They have an app, you can scan everybody's business cards and it'll put it into Microsoft Excel. It'll put it in Outlook in you there. And then you can download that into like Excel to upload into other places.
Christy, you know this? What
So
you-
I don't know, like I'm still learning Command. That's why I was like, I need to know more about Command because I need to know what format this stuff needs to be that I could transfer things quicker. Because right now, all I know is you have to type them out.
Oh my God, no, I can't tell you from New York. Alls I know.
All I know. Yeah.
Ah. Okay, look. Now each one of those business cards in that drawer too is a potential referral. Okay,
Mhm.
potential referral. I have to tell you. So I have a.
So
lot-
what do you do with those potentials? Like, I mean, you go everywhere and people give you their business cards. So like if do you call them all or do you like, I mean, how do you get them in the system? Do you just put them in and send an email out to them and say, this is what I'm doing now?
Well, you can send an email. Yeah, you can absolutely send an email. You can set up a drip campaign if you like those things.
That's what I was saying. Do I do a vendor drip campaign for all the business cards I got?
Why not? You know what? I have a vendor who I work with all the time, who when he was ready to sell his home and buy a new home, came to me. He has thousands of real estate agents that he works with, but he came to me to sell his home and to buy a new home.
How? Why? What'd you do with him?
Why?
How'd you get his attention?
Because I'm consistent. I am consistent with, And when he did a great job on a few things, I, made sure that it wasn't, it's not big gifts or whatever, but I made sure that I gave him a gift card for this or a gift card for that. You did a great job for me. Thank you. You went above and beyond. You fit me in your schedule when you had a full schedule and I really needed help and you fit me in there. Thank you. Here's a gift card. It goes a long way. Stuff like that really just goes a long way. Even if it doesn't seem like a lot to you or much or anything, it's a lot of times it's a gesture.
Mhm.
And then you're going to get these people. And he referred me he went out to somebody's house and was doing a job for them. And they said, hey, we're thinking about selling our house. You know what he did? He handed them my business card and I sold their house. So these vendors are also potential referrals.
Mhm.
I have a vendor that I work with that is a loan officer that I have bought or sold a house for almost everybody in her family.
That's nice.
It's the relationships that you make. You build these relationships, and these are how you get referrals. Referrals are all about the relationships. Okay. So whether it's that relationship that you have with the people online or in these groups, in these Facebook groups, or whether it's the people that you have in your own personal sphere that, these folks that you've grown up with or family members or neighbors or friends, no matter where they live or where they're going to, these are all potential referrals for you. So now, is the world opening up in your brain there and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I could do this and this and this and this, right?
Mm-hmm. So
you're getting all of these ideas, but this is what this is all about, is you getting, hi, baby. This is what this is about, is you getting all of these ideas. You take my ideas, but you make them your own, okay? You take my ideas, you make them your own, you use them the way that they work for you. And if you need my help, you call me. But you guys have, we've all lived different places. We all know different people. We all have different Facebook groups and different groups of friends. We all belong to different civic organizations in our communities. We all know, I hand out my business card when I go to the doctor's office, because you know what? That receptionist that's sitting there busting her ass, she needs a house too. Maybe she wants to buy or sell a house. Maybe she's stuck in an apartment. You never know somebody's situation, right? And then there's always the opportunity to help someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if
what about,
go ahead.
Okay, speaking of referrals, sorry, you got my mind like running around. I was just talking again to another group reaching out to me because, I have the dance studio and I keep getting churches that are coming to me wanting to rent space weekly that are looking to get started. So how can we transition these people over to you to get their own church space, like to buy?
Or to lease, either buy
or lease. Do you do lease? You do leases also?
Yes. And
so would I refer those people over to you or somebody on your team?
Well, if it's a lease, you could either refer it to Christy or myself. Well, it's eventually it's going to have to come through me anyway. But Christy and I are working together on commercial leasing. And
is this Christy Hall?
Yes.
Hi. I'm like checking you out now.
And I do commercial sales and listings or purchases listings. So what you can do is you can start the conversation with them. Mm-hmm. And then you refer somebody to us. And if they buy a property, or even in most cases lease, if it's not like a ridiculous lease where they only pay you like a certain amount monthly, then you get 25% commission. Mm-hmm. Now, if they buy it, let's do the math. So let's just do the easy math here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Easy math on $1 million, which sometimes a church can cost $1 million. 3%.
I know.
Huh? 3%.
Yeah, my studio, I spend $3,700 a month
Right.
on just
So
my dance studio.
3% of $1 million, a 3% commission is $30,000, right? And if you take 25% of that,
That's 7,500, right?
$7,500. So you get $7,500 for referring a client.
Wow.
Yes, wow. You know, referrals, but here's the thing. It works like this the entire equation. You do a referral up in New York, you're getting 25% of their 3% on a $600,000 house. Just do the math of that, you know? So on a $600,000 house, what's 3%? That's $18,000, right? And you're getting 25% of that because you did a few hours of work and you made the referral connection. And you know why they're not going to care about giving you 25%? Because you have given them a deal, a handmade deal, and not a lead. And people pay stupid amounts of money for leads. So now, do you see the value in going out there and actually getting some referrals?
Mhm.
Yes, there's a lot of value in it. Use your sphere, work your sphere. Wherever that sphere is, whether it's on social media, whether it's a personal one, no matter what, work it and get those referrals because you can help people all over the world. Keller Williams is the biggest real estate agency in the world. We are everywhere. You got somebody moving to Barcelona, go find yourself an agent over there. You know, refer an agent to Barcelona and, you know, refer somebody to an agent in Barcelona. Get Mary Frances to do the translation for you.
That's good.
So we had actually, I saw on Keller Williams that they've now got a Keller Williams in Rome.
Wow.
Yeah. Think I'm
That's
not gonna
wonderful.
visit them next time I go back. Yes, I am.
That's wonderful.
But you can refer people. Like I said, we are the largest military institution in the world in Hampton Roads. You should not have a problem doing referrals. Now, do you have your command all set up with your whole bio and everything like that?
I put in a bio after you mentioned that last time.
'Cause if
You
do
can go
that-
stalk me. I should have one now.
Okay, just check.
I
Because-
thought I did, and I went and I was like, I don't know if I have that. And I'm like, oh, I don't have that.
Because I will tell you, every single time I go into command and I'm looking for another agent and they don't have a bio, I'm like, yeah, swipe left. Whoop. Nope.
Yeah, I have one. It's not as impressive as others, but I have one.
But you can tweak it, right? You can tweak it and you can add, you know, and that's another thing. Go into other people's bios, read their bios. Take the best parts that you like and just craft your own from it. You can do a little bit of stealing from here and there just to, you know, make your own bio a little bit better. I mean, it's still got to be true, obviously, but, you know, just use a couple of key phrases that sound really good in somebody else's, things that stand out to you.
Yeah, Gene, man, can I ask you a silly question about referrals?
No such thing as a silly question. Go ahead.
Okay. I love your sales style because it's just like mine. It's all about the emotional connection and caring, and you know the other side of the coin is the salespeople who are very like it's all about building rapport and they have statistics for everything. And do you feel like, you know, because we care so much about the emotional connection that we lose out on the statistics customers? Because I'm sure like some referrals only want to know about like the statistics and the math. And I'm not saying we're not math, but we're very caring and we're all about the emotional connection. Unless I'm off on that, do you feel we miss out on some of the?
Well,
'Cause I'm the same as you.
no.
I'm the same as you. I mean, that's a true compliment.
Well, when you're talking to a client and you're trying to figure out what's most important to them,
Sure.
okay, say I have a client and they want to move to Arizona.
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, why not? It seems like a good place to move to. So I have a client that wants to move to Arizona. So I'm going to have a long talk with that person. But during this talk, I'm going to pick up a lot of cues from them as to what's most important. And
That's right.
I'm actually going to outright ask them, what's most important to you in an agent? Do you want to know? And you can ask them that. Do you want to know their stats? Do you want to know that, that they have done this many deals, or what are you exactly looking for? What would make you happy? And most of the time what I ask them is, how do you like to communicate best? Do you like to communicate by email, text, phone call? How do you like to communicate? Because not everybody likes to communicate the same way. And that
Sure.
is the biggest thing that makes people not get along.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I love that observation.
So if you can make sure that their mode of communication is the same, that's like 90% of the problem right there, is how
I love that observation. Thank you for that, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just
Hope it wasn't too silly a question.
It wasn't, not at all, not at all. You've got to, in order to make the perfect deal and do that little matchmaking connection, you've got to find out about who you are sending to somebody. Because if you don't know who they are, how are you going to find somebody to match them?
That's right. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you for answering that. Thank you.
No worries. Does anybody else have any questions, comments?
I do. So when you set up these command things, because I'm still learning that, so you can do a drip. Let's say we do one for vendors and we're connecting. So is there a way to set that up like that customizes the drip to them? Like, is it just going to send them houses, or is it going to send them like fun stuff too? Like, how does that work?
That's a good question for Raymond. Because Raymond does the command class. I am not a command expert. I would like to be a lot better at it as well. I'm not a command expert, but I know how to do my referrals through command. I just don't know how. I don't know how to do all the little fine, intricate things like drip campaigns and stuff like that. Because I'll be honest, I don't do drip campaigns. It's a little bit different with commercial, and people who buy or sell buildings don't honestly want to be pummeled with emails. And so a drip campaign would have to be so far out that it would probably no longer be it would probably no longer be relevant for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like, to keep it on my radar and just do an email every now and again, or a text message. I have some people that just want a text message, just hit them up with a text message. Hey, have you thought any more about this? And then they're like, oh my gosh, you know what? I have been so busy, I completely forgot. Yes, I'm still interested in that. Because I know people do that to me all the time. And they're like, hey, I was just reaching out because I never heard back from you. And I'm like, yeah. So get up with Raymond. Raymond has his I don't know when his command class is, but you'll see it every day.
He has one like next week.
Right.
I've hijacked his class already before.
Okay, then next up, maybe send him an email, and maybe you can request like a private Zoom session with him.
I did. I texted him this morning. I'm like, so how much do you charge for a one-on-one? And he's like, I don't really charge. And he's like, we could do one-on-one the next in-person thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I was kind of thinking like in the next week, I'd like to pick your brain and get focused on learning this better. So
there's also a million videos on our KW YouTube page, and there's videos.
Yeah, I was looking at one. Yeah.
Yeah, go through the videos and you can search the videos too.
There's so many videos. The
Thomas-
problem is like me sitting and watching that. It's like I feel
Okay.
I'm more of an interactive person, so I have to first of all, I have to turn off my phone and ignore it because my phone never stops. It's driving me crazy.
Right, but you can get a good idea with the video and make some
Mhm.
notes because Thomasina painstakingly makes these videos. Trust me, she does. And so that
I
we
haven't seen hers.
Huh?
I saw some other one. I haven't seen her. She doesn't
she
do
makes a
those
ton of
things.
videos. She makes videos all the time.
Oh, I've seen her other videos on like the page, but I didn't see any on command. She refers me straight to Raymond too. She told me the same thing you said. Reach out to Raymond.
Well, then that's two of us telling you that, right?
I got a message to him this morning.
Regina, you know
I'm
what?
like this close to getting one-on-one with him though, I think.
You know what, Regina? You might not have ever been a detective, but I'm going to tell you something. That's a clue.
I know, I'm working on him.
All right,
I'm gonna bribe him with
Letitia, you
breakfast.
joined us late. We went over a bunch of stuff. Do you have, did you come in with like any questions or anything like that you might have like right off the bat that I can answer for you?
Well, I don't know. I thought for some reason I thought this was a command training. Letitia does. She said she was taking another
Another
class.
class. Okay. I'm not gonna like, not gonna like take away your class card or anything like that. You could ask questions, just jump on, just if you don't want to put your video on, you can put your sound on and just ask away because this is an interactive class. And what I was talking about earlier was that you need to use your sphere. You need to use your sphere of influence, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's the groups you belong to on Facebook, whether it is the people that you know. Letitia, where are you originally from?
I know she just came from Florida. If it's the one person I'm thinking of, hold on, oh, her picture's not there. I think she came from Florida. She just moved here.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
There
Now
she is.
can.
Yes. Hi, I am from Costa Rica. I live in Key Largo, Florida for several years. And my husband passed away not too long ago. So I moved to Virginia because my aunt lives here and she said, come over here. So I came here and I love it.
Okay, awesome.
And I
So,
just bought a house. So I have been very busy painting my house and, you know.
She's next door neighbors to my friend who I helped get a house earlier last year.
Really?
How small? Yeah, Laura's your neighbor.
Really? Yes, she
I
is.
helped
And she's
her
wonderful.
find that house.
Great. Yes,
but I didn't
she's
get
great.
paid for it. I wasn't an agent. So here I am now, working on getting paid for it now.
Yeah.
all right. So, Letitia, wow. So, you can refer people anywhere. So if you
Yes.
even have friends still in Florida that are looking for, I don't know, a house in Florida, anywhere in Florida, you can refer them to agents down in Florida. And what I was saying was, and way back to the beginning of the call. So what you're doing is you're putting yourself out there on these social media and to your friends and your family members and everybody and say, why, if you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in the world, let me help you. It costs you nothing. And I get to ask all the important questions that you don't know how to ask or you don't know to ask. I get to do all the work and I will find you the perfect agent. And
Great.
this takes one of the biggest stressors. Hang on a minute, guys. Just 1 second. This I do have. I am so sorry, guys.
No
I'm so sorry.
problem.
Christy, that was Matt.
Good.
So anyway, so back to talking about your whole sphere of influence and everything like that. So who better to help them to find an agent anywhere than you? I mean, another agent, somebody who can look up their stats, somebody who can look up and see what this person has done. And first things first, look up their bio. Now, Leticia, I don't know, I haven't looked you up yet on Command, but do you have your bio done in Command?
No, I am honest. I have to work on that.
Okay. And look at other people's bios, because if you look at other people's bios and really get a good idea of how they do their bios, especially if they're really good bios, you know, get a good idea from a bunch of people and then put yours together. And Mary Frances popped on. She must have heard me talk about her before.
I have 2 customers already. They are not ready to buy, but you know, hopefully they will be ready soon. So I'm working on that.
Here's a really good example of everything Jean's talking about. So I'm in a alumni association for my sorority, and someone just posted. They said, "Happy Wednesday, yada yada. Moving out to Alexandria, Virginia, greater DC area next year for my residency. I'd love to hear tips on where I should look for housing." So, Jean, are you licensed up in the DC area?
Not in DC proper, but around Arlington, Alexandria, yeah.
All right, stay tuned.
Yes, but you see, and on these, just like that, on these Facebook pages, all the time, people are looking for different areas, or like Leticia, what I was saying earlier on in the call, they look for houses for retirement, or they're looking to move, or they're looking for a house for a vacation, you know, like a vacation home,
Correct.
or they're looking for investment properties. And when you
Yes.
see these posts pop up, man, get on that. Hey, I saw you, you know, you're looking here, there, whatever. If you can't help them and it's not in your area that you work in, offer to help find them an agent. Say, I can
Great.
help you find an agent there. As a matter of fact, you know, I have a great network there, and I can find you the perfect agent that'll meet all of your needs, and it absolutely costs you not one penny.
Awesome. Yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's how you get all these referrals. You just jump on it. We belong to so many different groups, honestly. We all belong
Yes.
to so many different groups, and you see these things. And what I said earlier in the conversation was that you can search some of these pages, and you can search for vacation house or
Yeah.
home or house or moving or retirement or any of these keywords, and you can pop up on these posts and see if anybody's helped these people.
Correct. Yeah, you know what? I know this lady, she offered me to go to another office, you know, she says this is a small office and, you know, it's great, you have the training. And I said, no, you know, I like Keller Williams, I like the training. Honestly, I am not growing faster because I am busy doing other things, but I like the way they work. I like the group of people that is behind me. When I need help, there is always somebody ready to help me, and if I have questions, somebody is there to answer my questions. So I'm happy here, and I have to start working harder. You know, it's just a matter of time
Yes, but you can
and
also
training.
yes, and you can also work smarter. Okay.
Correct.
Working smarter is working that sphere. And if you get a few of these referrals, we were just doing the math before you popped on. If you get a few of these referrals somewhere else, let's just say Florida, because Florida, like the median home price in Florida is around $300,000.
Correct.
Pretty easy. So let's just say that you go ahead and you refer a $300,000 sale to Florida. So $300,000 and you multiply it by, oops, and you multiply it by 3% is $9,000, right? So then you take that $9,000 and you multiply it by 25%, which is your referral fee, what you get back from that agent. That's $2,250 for a couple of hours of work. Now,
Correct.
if you can pad your income with a couple of referrals, like if you could do one referral a month in between your sales, if you could just do one referral a month, think of how that will build your income.
Correct.
So it's sometimes yes, it's working harder, but it's also working smarter. So it's getting those referrals in there so that you have income coming in even when you're not actively doing the work.
Makes sense.
Mhm. This is how we do it.
Yes, that's great.
So anybody got any questions before we wrap this up?
One more question, if you don't mind, ma'am. I've been to commercial or not commercial, commercial, but the training where they talk about networking pyramids, and you know how like the CPAs are wonderful about networking with financial advisors. What's your expertise on networking with people out of our industry for referrals, ma'am?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I have, like I said earlier, I have a lender who gives me all of their family members. I have somebody who is another vendor of mine who I sold his house and helped him buy another house. So yes, absolutely. All of the people in your sphere, we're not limiting your sphere. Your sphere is your sphere. It's everybody you touch, everybody you know.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for answering that. Wonderful answer.
Give me 1 second.
Anybody else? So listen, carry a bunch of business cards in your pockets too, okay? Your pockets, your wallets, whatever. Carry your business cards. Make sure they're not crappy business cards. Carry your business cards. I mean that. Because like I said, I'm not kidding. Somebody is less likely to throw out a really nice business card. I have a business card that's one of the nicest business cards I've ever seen. I don't even know what the guy does anymore, but I keep the business card because it's like the nicest business card I've ever seen. I just don't want to throw it out. So carry some business cards with you, and wherever you go, whatever that conversation is that you have with somebody, make it come around to what it is that you do. Offer to help them. Don't sell them. Offer to help them. That's what people want. They don't want sales. They want help. Okay. So you're providing them a service, and you'll see that, I tell you, probably at least minimally 2 out of 10 business cards, you should be compelling enough that you get a call. Pretty sure of that. That's about
2 out of 10. That's wonderful.
That's about my level of accuracy
That's wonderful.
pre-COVID. But all right, you guys got anything else for me?
Nope.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I got lots of info that you've sent me.
That's good.
I'm gonna go work on some stuff.
Wonderful training, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, if you guys have any questions like that, call me, text me, whatever.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for the tips.
You're so welcome.
I'm sorry I was late.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Weekend.